We've seen some political trends of deglobalization these days. What does that mean for the fashion industry?
I look at the fashion industry as I look at our company, that from the beginning we've wanted a global lifestyle brand. We think about the world as a smaller place, and I think particularly with the internet, and everyone has so much access and so much information that it's important to think that way. Different markets are more relevant for us than others. That said, we want to build the brand globally in a way that it feels good, and our China business resembles what we're doing in the United States. When it gets too segmented, that's when I think it's a problem. This whole concept of omni-channel is important, and particularly with e-commerce. I mean, e-commerce will be interesting to see for a brand like ours or a luxury brand how it unfolds. I think it will, but it will take some time.
Are you afraid that people will say, Tory Burch, she's political?
No, I'm not. I hope they would say...
Why not? Everybody's afraid. It seems, for example, those in the Hollywood, they're afraid people are putting a brand on their forehead saying she or she is political.
I think it's all in the way you message things. And I think if you don't stand up for things in life, what's the point? If you don't stand up for women's issues, when you really deeply believe in it, then I wouldn't feel good about myself. I have a voice. I want to inspire others to have a voice too. I'm not telling them what to say.
You have always been very active, even politically. But the question is, as a business person these days who are doing global business around the world, you travel around, you hear people's voices. Do politics these days still help?
If I said no, I would be a pessimist. So for me, I have to be optimistic enough.
Why do you have to be optimistic?
Because I am optimistic. and certainly, I think we need to fix it. And I think there's a long way to go. But I'm not saying it can't be done. I think it can be done.
Very interesting. Talking about the content, what are the issues that make you the most passionate?
Well, human rights. I think there's a race problem in the United States and elsewhere, and an acceptance of all people, regardless of gender, religion, race. I deeply believe in equal rights for all people, so there's certain things that I think are part of humanity, and it's a human right. It's not, it should be a given.
As a business leader, and as someone who is passionate about politics, what do you think, Tory, if I could ask you from a personal perspective, what kind of America you want? And what kind of role your country, the United States, should and could play?
Well, I think America is great. And I will say any state or country can be better. And certainly there's parts of our history that are not great. I like to learn from our mistakes. If I could wish for anything, I wish people would acknowledge mistakes, learn from them, and strive to do better.
Do you have these kind of conversations with your fashion circle friends?
I would say yes and no. I have a very diverse group of friends. And it's not like I'm as political as you're saying. I care about issues, and I think that in order for anyone to create change, you have to have a belief, and then you have to do something about it.
Tory, let's talk about women and business. You started as an entrepreneur yourself, a small boutique, and now maybe even a few billion. What do you make of your growth? How much would that be inspiration for other women? Are we, of course, living in a very different time? So will entrepreneurship still work?
Yes, I think entrepreneurship, well, America is the perfect example of entrepreneurship, and I think one of the things I'm passionate about is going around the world and working with communities to understand that as well. I don't do it enough yet, but in the future I would love to do more of that. Entrepreneurship is one of the cornerstones of what we should all be proud of. If you think about great businesses, they were all started somewhere, and so it exists. everywhere. And I think that it's a different time. People can look at me as an impossible thing that happened. I never imagined I could do what I'm doing. And it should give people hope. When you ask me, or if someone were to ask me 14 years ago what I would be doing today, I could tell you I would have had no idea.
And you have been very active in encouraging female entrepreneurs. I understand back in the year 2014, during Obama administration's newly coming into the office for the second term, you were being inaugurated as the member of the Presidential Ambassador for Entrepreneurs. What kinds of difficulties do you think the newer generation of entrepreneurs are facing these days compared to your time?
Well, I think any time is hard. Business is hard. A startup is hard. But I think if you find your passion, that's the first step. Access to capital is difficult. For women, it's a proven fact. Women have a harder time getting access to capital. There's a lot that can be done to improve that, and certainly our foundation, that is our goal, is to be the go-to source for women to get access to low-cost capital, to get mentoring and education, and then also to learn about different issues in business on our website. It's torybirchfoundation.org, and I think there's a lot of information that can help people. If we could set up a community that teaches women how to mentor each other, peer-to-peer mentorship, it would be a wonderful thing.
Some of the entrepreneurs who told me, particularly philanthropists, that they thought at the very beginning was about giving out money, giving the wealth away and support people for their better cause. But later they found there's a tremendous amount of work to make sure the money will be given to the right people, for the right projects, at the right time, for the right costs.
Yes.
So what does that mean to you?
It sounds very familiar. I think our partnership with Bank of America, one of the challenges was that they said we could give $20 million out in the first 2 years, and we thought, wow, that's easy. And really what we learned is that we did have to find the right women in the right cycle of their business at the right time.
How did you find?
A lot of work.
Do your research?
Well, working.
Give me some examples.
Well, we work with local community lenders, CDFIs. And it's a lot of vetting, a lot of work that my team did and Bank of America's team, and really finding businesses that have validity, businesses that could scale, businesses that had a trajectory, that could really use the loan. Women pay back their loans. That's a great thing.
They do.
So I think it was vetting. We have given out over $22 million in the last 2 years, and we're averaging over $1 million a month. So
are there some fresh examples you're best impressed with?
Well, we just had our fellowship program. The winner is a woman that started a chocolate factory because her mom was sick and her mom had taught her to make chocolate bars, and she was out of Maine. It turns out that she had a great company, a great idea. The whole state of Maine got behind her. Bixby Bars is its name. Then there's a woman who actually consults on getting diversity into companies. There's so many different kinds of companies. The one thing that is very similar, they're all inspiring. These women are talented, they're smart, and they are often holding down 2 jobs, single mothers, and they're getting it done.
Do women really support women?
I do. I have a deep feeling that women do support women.
I remember there was a saying by the former secretaries.
By Milan Verveer, or was it Hillary Clinton?
I think it was in her administration.
Yeah.
She said there's a special place in hell in which
women don't support
women.
Yeah. It's a great saying.
I hope that part of hell is not very big.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure, hopefully, we won't find out about that.
We wouldn't, with what you have been doing. You started with a small boutique. Your business grows, as we mentioned earlier. You also did a restructuring, large scale, recently, and that made your company grow even faster. And you have a sports line now. Congratulations. These are all successful decisions. But do you sometimes feeling a little bit nervous about your earlier decision, and also being a little bit nervous when all the others have become public company? They have got big cash. And can you really, for the future, compete with them if you're still private?
So it doesn't drive me to think about competing with big businesses. It drives me to create a really profitable, wonderful business that we're proud of. Do things keep me up at night all the time? I mean, I would say yes. But I think I'm pretty decisive. I try not to look back. Have I made mistakes? Of course. I've made many. I think that the important thing is to learn from them and really try not to repeat them.
What is the biggest one you have done?
When I keep people in the wrong positions, and I realize that a loyalty is actually disloyal to the whole company. You know, when I'm trying to do the right thing for someone, it affects everyone around them, and it could actually be very harmful. So it's hard. It's hard to make changes with people and restructure a company. It was a very difficult decision, but it was essential. And it was actually, I was thinking about it before I saw the macro environment changing, and I knew that I had a Herculean event ahead. And so that's daunting, but I knew that it had to be done.
I'm not a fashion insider, but when I, as an outsider, look at the latest fashion trends, it seems to me brands are nervous. The biggest brands, I mean. They want to be viewed as so-called updated. They want to be viewed as trendy, quote unquote. And sometimes, to me, it seems they have lost some of their previous personalities. Any advice to us and to yourself?
And to myself.
Yes.
I think to jump on that nervous wagon is a mistake. That said, you will be nervous, but to just try to generate things. Change it. Try to be something you're not because something's working in the market. Looking at last year's sales and trying to replicate that for next year, it doesn't work, and we've been there and we've done it ourselves. So I've learned from experience. We don't want to be just big for big's sake. We want to have the right growth. We want to be relevant, of course, but we're not just thinking about trend. I like the idea of women wearing our pieces for years. So for me, it's about product and our customer and designing the best possible product and really believing in it. I talk to our team about buying less and believing in it more.
Very interesting, a slogan over there. Thank you so much,
Thank
Tory,
you.
for being with us.
Thank
All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All
Really
the best to
appreciate
you.
it. Well, tune in again tomorrow for our final feature of our special series, Women on Top. I picked the brains of a famous master storyteller writer, Yan Geling. That interview tomorrow. And that is all the time we have for today. If you'd like to see more, try to find us World Insight CGTN into your search engine or check out our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Sina Weibo. From me, Tian Wei, and everyone on the World Insight team, thanks for watching. Tune in again next time for insights across China and around the world. Good night.